Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how I remade Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. So to get things started, all I'm going to do is show you the drums first that I used. We're just going to go ahead and silence all this so we can just hear the drums only. So to start off, we're going to start off with the kick that I used, which that kick is the Kick 2 out of the Asparagus drum kit, which is a free drum kit. I can't remember where I got it. All you gotta do is just look up like free lo-fi drum kits, and it's the Asparagus lo-fi drum kit. So I pulled the Kick 2 out of there, and then all I did was add a couple things to it. I added a compressor just to, compress it, and then I added an EQ to cut out some of the mids, because that's kind of what it sounds like in the song. And then I just added another one to emphasize that. Then I added a reverb to make it a little wider. Then I added Fruity Blood Overdrive to give it some distortion. So here's what that kick pattern would sound like, which it's playing on 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the E of 4. So that's the kick, and now to the snare. I went to the Source drum kit out of the Kit Plug, which is a free drum kit on their website. I pulled snare 9 out of there, and all I did to that was add an EQ to pitch out some of the harsh highs, and then pitched in some of the mids and the lows there. So that's all I did for the snare. Also, I added a reverb and a filter just to make it sound a little more lo-fi. So here's what the kick and the snare sound like together. By the way, the snare is playing on the and of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then for the clap, all I did was go to the Portal drum kit, which is also from the Kit Plug on their free website, and got the King clap. Sounds a little weird now, but that's with all the effects on it. So if we turn off all the effects, the clap would sound something like this. And then with adding Fruity Chorus to it to make it sound like multiple claps are playing at once, a little reverb to make it wider, make it sound like it's bouncing off the walls, then a love filter to make it sound a little more lo-fi. So all that together would sound a little something like this. Which, by the way, the clap is playing on the E and the of the 4-bar, every other 4 bars. So there we go. And then for the hi-hat, all I did was grab this Groove hi-hat. It's one of the default drums that comes with FL Studio. It's Groove Closed Hat 3. And then all I did to that was I just added an EQ here to pitch out some of the highs, pitch in some of the lows, and then added another one just to emphasize those highs there. Then I added a compressor just to make it sound a little more gritty. So here's what all the drums sound like together. So that's the drums. Now to get into the melodies and the risers and everything. For the first melody, I pulled out this Sim Synth and went to the Piano 2 preset. And to get that, and then I just went to, I did a lot of things to it. The LSD, the equi, and the chorus I just got rid of right now. I'm not going to use those. I added Fruity Reverb to make it wider, and then I added an EQ to pitch in some highs. I added Sound Goodizer to, make it sound good, and then I added a filter, and then I added this EQ to emphasize those highs. And then I added another reverb to make it sound a little more wet. So that's it for the first melody, which would sound like this. Here's the notes that the melody is playing. Which I would see a lot of YouTubers like using Serum to get these melodies down. But since I don't have the money for Serum, we're just going to use the default drums in FL Studio. So here we go. So that's the first melody. And now we're going to get into the second melody. All it is it's the same thing, except this time it's the same synth, except instead of piano 2, it's just the regular piano synth. And it's going to be playing the same notes. And I also did the same things with it. Both melodies have the same effects on them, so they're on the same channel. For the third melody, it's not really a melody, it's just a long chord. All I did was take this basic synth out of Citrus. I don't think I did add a few effects to it. Just added reverb to make it a little wider, an EQ to pitch in some of the mids and the highs, and then I added a low filter to make it sound more lo-fi. I think I added a low filter on almost everything. But all this is playing is simply just the F minor chord in the 4th octave. And that's going to go for 4 bars, and then all I did was, so that way it doesn't continuously go for 4 bars, was I just added a little automation right here. That way it's not like too loud, but it's still loud enough for you to hear it. So that's that. And then for the 4th melody, it's the same thing starting off. It's the same instrument. Yes, it's the same instrument out of Citrus, the basic. All you gotta do is literally go to Citrus, go to presets. Down here in short synth, it's just the basic short synth right there. Don't know if you can see that on my screen or not. I don't think you can, but once you open up all the presets for Citrus, just go to a place called short synth, and then just grab the basic synth from there. And that's gonna be playing these notes. And so, all the melodies together, this will be the intro chord. And then it'll, after the drums, we'll get to the... He'll get to the good part. So now, once we add all the drums and everything to it, first, before I do any of that, I'm going to get to the bass and the riser. For the bass, I went to Harmer, which, you know, Harmer sometimes can scare me looking at it. It's a little much, but you go into Harmer here, and then I just grab the simple bass out of the bass section. Still don't know if you can see that on my screen. And then all I did to it was I went to this area right here, and then I just kind of pitched it down a little bit, and then on the timbre right here, I just kind of, you know, brought this little knob down like that. And then on this right here, I hit subtract instead of fade. So then down here on strum, if you do down instead of up, then it'll sound a little more like the song. And then on the green mix right here, make sure it's only at halfway, so that way it sounds a little more like the song. And on this right here, make sure it's on classic low pass. And then here's what that bass is playing. So that's the bass. And then now for the riser, all I did was in the default risers section, which comes with FL Studio when you buy it, just down here, the riser noise, it's almost perfect to the song. It sounds almost exactly like it once you add some effects to it. But you can hear those like really harsh highs at the end there. So then all I did was I went to that riser. It's the same riser here, but I just added an EQ to it to cut out those highs there. And then I added another EQ to double up on cutting out those highs, because if you just add one EQ, it's not going to get all of it. So you have to add two, and if you double it up, it'll really clean up those highs. So the full intro with the riser, the bass, and the chord would sound something like this. Sorry, it would sound something like this. Don't want to give you a sneak peek of those drums yet. But for the riser, I just added another thing of automation right here that just controls the volume, so that way it doesn't start immediately. It starts a little bit later. So that way the riser, it's a little more like the song. But with all of that done, here's the full beat, guys. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hope you guys do enjoy. Anyways, guys, that's the full beat. Hope you guys did enjoy. Of course, if you did, don't forget to leave a like down below and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.